Hello everyone, welcome back. I'm working on my Sturzhau today, and basically that is the plunging stroke. And the last time we talked about this, I was doing this plunging stroke basically as a high half wrap, or I was doing it like that. Today I'm doing this plunging stroke as a low wrap. Basically, I'm not going to call it a low wrap to the leg because of my shield, I really can't get my arm too low without opening up my head. So what this is really focusing on, if you divide the body into 4 quadrants, it's focusing on this low, hip area over here. Okay. So basically, as I throw it, I'm putting my buckler out. That's providing protection for my arms, as well as I have that cone of defense. For those of you not familiar with the cone of defense, basically if I hold the shield in close like this, right, you can see how much of my body you can see. If I extend it out, you can see how much less of me that you can see, okay? And basically normally when I strike, I want to basically, use the sword as my primary defense and then use the buckler as my secondary defense, okay? And in this case, I'm doing the half wrap, and all I'm doing is basically I'm throwing the sword out and I'm just letting it roll over. And by doing so, as you can see, it changes the angle. By rolling that sword over, basically, my arm is defended. I've still got the same defense from the buckler. But what it's doing, it's allowing me to curve around my buckler and hopefully my opponent's buckler. And that gives me a good chance of hitting them on the elbow, okay? So either the elbow or perhaps the low hip area. So that's what the focus of this is. Now, what I'm trying to do specifically in this drill, what I'm practicing is, first of all, you're never just going to throw that. Normally, you're not just going to throw that low plunging strike. Usually, you'll open up with something else, and then maybe throw that low Sturzhau. From there, maybe bring it around like that. But what I want to do is, when I do end up in this position here, right, when I throw that low plunging strike, what do I do from there? Okay, what are my alternatives? What can I do as a follow-up shot? And especially if you throw that shot, people aren't going to expect you to be able to do much from there. So if you can develop a secondary shot from that position, that's going to make you very, very effective as a fighter. Okay, so we got the 4 quadrants, 1, 2, 3, 4, and what I want to do is I want to practice from that quadrant, from that low quadrant, going to every other quadrant. Okay, so from there, boom. Okay, and that's usually the easiest place to go because you're basically from that position there. As you throw that strike, all you gotta do is kind of bring your elbow in, and then the sword is basically easily wound up to go to that to the weak side, to the high weak side. So boom, boom. Okay, and that's gonna come in pretty powerful. And a lot of times you can do is you can do that with a step, come in like that. Okay, so boom, boom. Okay? So that's a very powerful combination that people who are not familiar with the strike are not, you're going to catch off guard. But what other quadrants? Let's say I want to go to the high strong side. Okay, so from there, boom. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm throwing that, coming back, and throwing the sword out. So one more time, throw it. I'm going to pull myself back a little bit. The sword comes back a little bit like this, and then I'll do it from this side so you can see it better. So throw the half wrap, bring the sword up, and boom. One more time, boom, boom. And the whole time as I'm doing this, I have the defense of the buckler. Okay, my hand is solidly behind the buckler. And now the 4th quadrant that I want to get to, on that side, okay, I'm going to put this width to die down a little bit so you guys can hear me better. Okay. How do I go to that side? So basically, throw it from there, come around, there you go. So I'm throwing it, I'm winding up behind my buckler, and then coming over the top and throwing it as such, okay? So here, I'll do it again from this side, boom, boom, okay? So boom, boom, okay? So, and another variation of this is, if you bring it here, you can also bring the sword back like this and throw it out like that, okay? So there's another variation of this, which is boom, boom. All right, so again, boom, bring it in, boom. So when it strikes, I'm basically just pulling myself back a little bit, and then extending back out, okay? So there's a couple of combinations for you guys to try and try to further develop the Sturzhau, okay? And you can do this for any of your strikes, you know. I mean, if you throw this high, you know, this high, the weak side high blow there, where can you go from there? Okay, so basically from there, practice going to each of the other quadrants, you know. Boom, boom, you know. And you can do that with all of your shots, you know. Let's say if we start off here, you know, from there pull back, go to that quadrant, okay? So again, from there, boom, and then boom, okay? So do this with all of your strikes, but especially with the Sturzhau, because I think in the HEMA community, it's very underdeveloped. We're aware of it, but I don't think it's, you know, people really use it. I don't think it's been developed in HEMA fighting. It's been developed very much in SCA fighting, but the Sturzhau is something that needs to be developed, and this is the way to practice it. You know, throw that as a first shot, and then from there practice going to all of your other cuts that you like to do. From there, come up, boom, go to that side, you know, throw from there, come up, boom, throw it there. So if you got any comments, please post them. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Talk to you guys next time.